Hi guys, Miss Makandi here. Welcome back to my channel. I'm still here. I have not yet given up. I'm still pushing on. Thank you to all the subscribers that I've gained in the last 1 week. I'm really grateful and may God bless you. Today we are going to talk about seasons of life. So what are seasons? Seasons are the inevitable occurrences in this life. Seasons are the inevitable occurrences that we as human beings are going to experience or are experiencing in our lifetime on this earth. So what are examples of the seasons in this lifetime? We are going to talk about seasons of grief, seasons of happiness, seasons of joblessness, seasons of brokenness, and very many other seasons. So to start with, we are going to back our content today on a Bible verse in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1, and it says, "There is a time for everything, a season for every activity under the heavens." Please note that part. There is a season for every activity under the heavens. There is a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to scatter stones and a time to gather them, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to search and a time to give up, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be silent and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. So basing our content today on that verse, we are going to everything that has been mentioned there, those are the examples of the seasons that we are going to experience in our lifetime. There will be seasons when we will be born, and there are seasons when we will die. There are seasons when we will be planting, and there are seasons when we will be uprooting. But what gives me hope about this thing is that there are no season lasts forever, and that is why we have different seasons, because you have to tear down and you have to build. That shows if it was for a lifetime, then you'll always be tearing down. But there's that season for tearing down, and there's a season of building. There's a season of weeping and there's a season of laughing. That gives me hope. We will not always be crying. There will be that season of crying, and then there'll be the season of laughing. Me as Makandi, how am I learning to navigate these seasons in life? My first tip on how I'm navigating, okay, I'm not a pro in all this, but for the few years that I've been living in this world, I've experienced a few seasons and I have learned on how to navigate those seasons. The first tip on how I'm learning to navigate the seasons is through acceptance. The earlier we accept the season that we are in, the better. The first tip on how I'm navigating these seasons is through acceptance. The earlier you accept the season that you're in, the better. If you accept it sooner, the more you will be able to move on to the next season, because you're not moving to a blank space, then you're moving on to a next season. If you are tearing down, then you'll be moving to your building season. If you're in a mourning season, then you'll be moving to your dancing season. So it is the earlier you accept that season has come to your life, the better. You accept it, you deal with it, then you move on. The next tip that I'm learning on how to navigate these seasons is through prayers. And I will back that point with another verse from the book of Matthew, chapter number 7 and verse 7. And it says, "Ask and it shall be given to you. Seek and ye shall find it. Knock and it shall be opened unto you." It is through prayers. I know most of these seasons, okay, not most of them, but some of these seasons in life can be very difficult, can be very breaking. But if you talk to God about it, and you talk to God with a lot of sincerity, with a lot of repentance, then he will hear you. He will hear your prayers, and he will answer you. You ask and it shall be given to you. You knock and the doors shall be opened to you. So that is another tip that I'm learning about to navigate this season. Another thing that I'm learning on how to navigate this season is to deal with it. Whatever season you're in, okay. So another thing that I am learning on how to navigate this season is dealing with it. Whatever season you're in, be it a season of grief, be it a season of happiness, be it a season of tearing down, whatever season you are in, learn how to deal with it. And the last point is moving on. We cannot kill ourselves over these seasons. We just have eventually to move on and face life as it is. As the Bible has shown us, there are very many seasons we are to be in. So we cannot We cannot dwell on the tears. We cannot dwell on the killing. We cannot dwell on the tearing down. It is time that we move on. Now let us move on to the healing part. Let us move on to the time of laughter. Let us move on to another different seasons, because they are different seasons in this life. But all in all, just accept the season as it is, feel the season as it is, be in that moment as it is, and all will be well. Eventually everything will be fine. Life is moving on, days are coming by and days are passing by. So if you're in that season today and tomorrow, then the day after tomorrow, you will be starting to see light at the end of the tunnel, and that season will be okay. So guys, I feel we've talked enough for this episode. It is, yeah, I hope you've learned something and you will subscribe. Bye bye.